Welcome everyone to the aquatic capital of the United States of America. We're here at Long Beach for round 11 of 12 of the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series. This is the penultimate round of the season. And since we're talking about Long Beach here, why don't I take a look into what the track looks like and what characteristics this track brings. So we're talking about a track nearly 2 miles in length, or if you will speak in metric, 3.167 kilometers, only 11 corners in total. 64 laps of racing is to be due here in Long Beach, with a target lap time of 121.105. We don't believe that this would be likely to be beaten for this race at the moment, given the cooler temperatures. Of course, this is a track in California and the United States, host of various racing series, including GT3 cars. Of course, earlier last month, it hosted Indy cars in this track. So this track is definitely a track that can host any racing series if they could. It's also as we mentioned, the penultimate round of the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series. And with that out of the way, let's take a look into the championship standings here. Here is where you want to. Here's the big topic: 4 drivers in realistic contention of the title. Hector Bembe and the Takanashi car is looking to seal the title with a win here at Long Beach. A win in this round would seal the title for the International Series overall class. Mori and Oryx not far behind, just under 100 points behind Hector Bembe. They need to stay within the gap of Hector Bembe if they want to have a chance of winning. As for Khashiu, well, he's got something to do there with him being 4th in the championship standings, over 100 points behind Hector Bembe. And then we have 5 other drivers from 5th to 9th who is still mathematically in contention, but they're not realistically in it. That's from Brendan McConley representing Gagura, to Santi Olivares representing Watson Amelia. And then we have the drivers mathematically out of contention, from JC Sudo to Anita Perez, from Oli to Hakos Bells. But that's not the only championship that we're going to need to take a look into. Since this track map color is colored purple, this round counts towards the Hololive English Cup. And here are the standings of the English Cup. Hector Bembe still leads Bon Ishikawa III very comfortably. And as you can see here, 676 over 480. And also we wanted to mention to you that it's almost settled, because Bon Ishikawa III is the only other driver mathematically in contention for the EN Class Cup. Hector Bembe, if he outscores Bon Ishikawa III by 5 points, or rather 4 points, Hector Bembe can be champion in the EN Class Cup. Now, with that out of the way, we want to welcome everyone onto the stream. I'm Muhammad Reza in the commentary booth, and I think it's just me at the moment, as we're about to get this qualifying session underway. And there we go. Hang on. Cars out on track. 15 minutes of qualifying have begun. First driver out on track, eager to really leave his mark, is Aziz Mozev in the number 62 Anya car. We did mention that he is above 200 points behind the championship leader, that is Hector Bembe. So for these drivers who are still mathematically in contention, like from 5th to 9th, they need the top 4 to perform very badly, like all 4 of them to perform badly, for the guys from 5th to 9th to have a chance of remaining eligible for the title once they get into Watkins Glen for the season finale later this May. We do mention on Twitter, Monica Shalage in the number 58 Kyla Kowalska car, looking to perform at her best after her retirement in the last round at Yeongnam. where she was the second car to retire, meaning she finished 18th out of 19th. She's looking to get something out. Here's Fons Mori, second place in the championship standings, leading the charge for the ID class members in the Hoshidama Moona car. Fons Mori obviously takes over from Maurice Tremblay for the final 3 rounds of the season. The super sub has returned and he's looking to try to bring home a championship for Hoshidama Moona. Tirana Svobodova looks to have a lot of pace throughout. Let's see if she can deliver. And for Mama Khashiu, 4th in the championship standings. Let's see what Mama Khashiu can do here in Long Beach as we're about to start the lap. Let's go on board at number 4, Mori Calliope Lexus. The Grim Reaper, part-time Grim Reaper is also a streamer. Also having a car in Hololive GT3. Into turns 1 and then into turns 2. Obviously, very tight in the sections here as you get into the roundabout section. Hold on into first gear as you try to hang on into the next few corners, which is turns 4 and 5. Yep, Catch is being held up by Svobodova and McConley up front. Not looking very handy for him. Into turn 6. Heading into turn 7. Oh, as you can see, Svobodova really trying to find an opportunity to get past McConley there. That's going to hinder Cashiu's opportunity to set a very fast lap. Anyways, we're on to the Seaside Way backstretch. Heading into Firestone turn. Second gear into turn 8. Into the double apex corner of Indy left. Now finding a way past Svobodova and into the hairpin final corner. Trying to find a space against Svobodova, and that is a lap here at Long Beach. Yeah, we can see here Khashiu being really held up there by Svobodova and McConley there. That's not going to look good for Mama Khashiu's title hopes. On board with Svobodova. Yeah, being really held up there by Brendan. And as you can see here, the current guy saying the fastest time here is Adak-RMS, who have already set the, I believe, the fastest second sector so far. And look at Santi Olivares there, 4 to 5 tenths behind Adak-RMS' whole time at the moment. Olivares is having a good car at the moment, and also Monica Shalagi making use of the shortcomings of the top 4 title contenders to qualify inside the front row, provisionally. Sunny days here in Long Beach. It's 9 a.m. Well, and then Monica Shalagi chooses to come into the pits. Anyways, sunny day here in Long Beach. And we're gonna go with free camera here. The sun is shining brightly on the circuit. It may not be the case in real life, but then again, we run a fictional sim racing series. Marcelo. Oh, and Bembe and Khashiu. Oh, and there is a massive pile up there. Khashiu got spun and clogs up the rest of the field. Lots of damage for Mama Khashiu. Let's just hope that this is not an omen for things to come as they continue to clog the track. Oh, Khashiu really still being stuck there, and now everyone has been freed. Khashiu as well has been teleported back into the pit lane. And that's not gonna help the other drivers' cause to set a fast lap time there. Oryx and Pseudo being heavily affected. Let's see if their cars have damage. Yep, you can see here Oryx's car in front, the front side of the car, and the sides, the right side, having substantial damage. Kate Garcia. In her, wait. We're gonna need to take a pause here because Kate Garcia should not be in this round. It's actually Dan Evans. We're gonna need to pause once we reach the 9-minute mark. Hopefully, the order remains the same. Apologies here. We're gonna need to take a short break. So, apologies for the issues from the naming, because that should not be happening. So we're gonna take a short break. We'll be coming back in around 2 minutes to get ourselves back into, well, resuming the qualifying session, albeit with a resetted time. Okay, we're kind of back here. Apologies if we have to get ourselves into intermission there. The naming is incorrect. We saw that the name was Kate Garcia in the Vestia Zeta car and not Dan Evans, who is actually supposed to participate. So we took a short break here to reset the qualifying sessions. We apologize for the shortcoming once again. One person having to handle everything just doesn't seem right. Anyways, we're getting ourselves back into this qualifying session here. We're going to resume the session, albeit with resetted times, with 9 minutes left in this qualifying session. We're here, we see Aziz Mohsen getting back out on track. Again, apologize for... Anyways, we're at the 8 minutes and 30 seconds mark. Let's see if these drivers can get themselves back into terms with each other with a clean slate. Again, we have, there was an issue with the naming, so we apologize for that. There will be slight pauses in commentary because this is just a one-man booth and I want to save my throat, so that's that. Here's Putri Farah Kamal. We talked about how Putri Farah Kamal has had an absolutely dominant run in the Japan Series regular season. On her 12 races in the Yukon Alami car in the 2022 season, in Split B, she managed to win, like, how do you say this? 5 of the 12 rounds she entered represent the Yukon Alami, and that single-handedly brought her into the championship for Split B in 2022. So Farah Kamal wants to start her flying lap. Let's see what she can do in the same car but different VTuber as Farah Kamal clears the car just got out there. Anita Perez into the roundabout section. Heading into turns 4 and 5. Looking very steady there. Barreling into one of the few back stretches here in Long Beach, coming into turn 6, and then after that is a right 90-degree right-hander into turn 7, 41.141. Very decent times there for Farah Kamal with just about clean air in front of her, while there is going to be some sort of dirty air from the racer car in front. Heading into the interesting third sector there. Into Firestone turn and then Indy turn left, and then heading into the hairpin in the final corner, 108.695. We apologize for the mistake of sectors. Coming into the straight line, the start finish line there, 122.074, only 2 tenths behind current pole sitter Aziz Mohsen. 121.824 for the Risu representative. Very good stuff. as we're about to see more laps being completed. Adak-RMS completes at 22.557. That hum with 22.489. Ishikawa the third starts his flying lap. Khashiu and Bembe along. They both start their flying laps. Let's see head to head where these drivers end up coming into the end of their laps. As you can see here, Bembe is slightly losing touch to Khashiu there. They're fighting head to head. These guys are fighting for the championship. As we mentioned earlier, Bembe leads the championship by about over 40 points over Mori, and for his teammate up front in the TakaMori section, he leads, and excuse me, as Mercilado says the second fastest lap time, 2:29, 0.229 seconds behind Wazip, and now Monica Shilagi with 1:21.141. Scrap the part where we mentioned that the lap record targets are a bit unobtainable, because Shilagi just beat it, 1:21.149. Her title defense, or rather her battle to remain on the title hunt, is very much alive. And as does Farah Kamal, who sets nearly 2/10 slower of a lap time than Shilagi. And now follows Mori, fires his shot to remain eligible in the title contention. And now looking into Hector Bembe's lap time, 1:23.032. It's only good for 13. And looking at Khashiu, he is currently on the front row of the grid. More drivers completing their lap times here. Khashiu is looking to steal the opportunity, while his Takanashi Kiara teammate, Hector Bembe, languages down in 17th. It's a twist in the championship battle here, as the championship leader is currently mired down in the bottom positions. Monica Shilagi wanting to get herself back in title contention with only 2 rounds to go. This is the round she's looking for. With her time currently, she currently sits on provisional pole. And now Hanari Miyuki beats Oryx's time, bumps him down to 7th. Hanari Miyuki is in the 3rd row. She qualifies 6th at the moment. Lots of improved, but it's not going to be enough. Farah Kamal bumps Bobodova down to 4th as she gets up to 3rd. And follows Mori, now bumps Hanari Miyuki down to 7th. Mori now inside the top 6. He is now on the 3rd row. Looking into the rest of the field inside the top 10, the Mume and Bay Combi are currently inside the 6th row now. And now Swobodova, as we mentioned, that Swobodova has a lot of pace on that Nissan. Swobodova just proves it yet again with a 1:20.863. The track is definitely ramping up coming into the end of this qualifying session. So Swobodova over Shilagi, over Khashiu, over Farah Kamal, over Mwazip, over Mori, Sudo, Miyuki, Oryx, and Evans inside the top 10. Conley down in 14th place, not looking good for him. And looking into the title contenders here, Bembe not looking very good there. He's about 1 spot away from last place, currently in 18th place. He's gonna need a very good strategy for him to get inside the top spots for him to remain competitive, to remain inside the title hunt coming into the final round of Watkins Glen in 3 weeks' time. Aramazzi, car formerly number 16, in 16th place, holding up 2 Lexus cars behind. No intention to pit for Aramazzi as they have to continue. Drivers at the back also not intending to pit at the moment, and we don't think there will be any improvements in lap time here. Ichikawa the third just improves by only by some. And Lance Oryx gets himself up to 5th place with a damaged front end, no less. Must have hit something. Well, even with a damaged car, still inside the top 5. Very good stuff from Oryx. Fastest Nissan, Svobodova, fastest Lexus, Monica Shilagi, fastest Honda, Putri Farah Kamal. And at this rate, Mama Khashiu, with Lance Oryx down in 5th place, there will not be enough for Khashiu to seal the title. with 1 round to spare, but he will have the best seat in the house for what should be a cracking final round of the season. 30 seconds to go in this qualifying session, and pretty quiet stream as far as the viewers go, but I'm just gonna keep it going. I have a promise to get the stream up in time. Punctuality is very much an importance here. Then again, there are some ad hoc situations where I have to reschedule it due to issues with either the mods or something else. Anyways, McConley not looking to improve his times. Moldova is not going any faster there, coming into no seconds left in this qualifying sessions here, and it looks like it's a Hololive ID front row with Moldova and Shalagi coming blocking out the top 2 spots. Khashiu and Farakamal currently 3rd and 4th, Oryx 5th and 6th, Mori 7th, Pseudo 8th, Yuki 9th, and Daniel Evans rounding out the top 10. We only have a few cars left who have yet to complete their runs. Masi still holding out Ishikawa to 3rd and Khashiu. Five cars left in this session there. We're gonna look at Moldova as they will all end their qualifying sessions. And I don't think anyone has improved there at the moment, so it looks like Tiranos Moldova is gonna do what Emerson Kurt and Keishon Kun, I think, put the car in pole position. So Swoboda, congratulations for Swoboda and the Yopi car to secure the elusive pole position in this race. So anyways, with the qualifying session underway, Swoboda really showing everyone how it's done. Let's take a look into the starting lineup there for round 11 of the Hololive GT3 International Series season for 2022-2023. Let's take a look. Swoboda on the front row, actually on pole position there in the Yofi car with a 128.63, absolutely demolishing our lap time predictions. Rana Kashalage looking to continue her title contention alive, wanting to keep it alive in 2nd place, representing Kyla Kowalskia. And then we have Mama Khashiu and Putri Farakama lining up on row 2, representing Mori Calliope and Pavolia Reina respectively. Lance Oryx and Aziz Muazif, both of them are still in title contention there. The Anya and Risu cars qualifying 5th and 6th. Follows Mori 2nd in the championship standings against JC Sudo. It's Moona and Fregioli on row 4, and on row 5 it's the rest of the Holo Hero members. Hano Remake representing Kobo Kanaeru, and Dan Evans representing Vestia Zeta. We believe he's going to be the new full-time driver, but we'll have to keep you we have to keep all of you updated. Anyways, Marcelo and Ninja Perez representing Nanashi Mume and Huckles Bells respectively, currently in row 6. Santi Olivares for representing Watson Amelia. Brendan McCall representing Gagura in row 7. Nasir Daha 122.489 representing Sarah's Fauna in the number 85 Lexus. And Aaron Mazzi in the Iris Nissan qualify on row 8, 15th and 16th respectively. Jeremy Assam and Hector Bembe, championship leader, down in 18th place. The representatives of Ina and Kiara not having a good race at the moment in 17th and 18th, and rounding out the field is Bon Ishikawa the 3rd, representative for Oro Crony will basically fill up the grid for the 19 car race here at 19 car race at Long Beach. So anyways, let's get this race underway here as we're about to get those 19 Hololive GT3 cars lined up. Here it is. Here we're racing at Long Beach. 2 rounds to go to decide the title. It's Swoboda on pole and the championship leader at the back. Let's see who blinks first. Race gets underway here, and as you can see here again, the Nissan's having a very sloppy start with the wheel spin there, and now Svobodova is under pressure from Khashiu, Farakamal, and co. While Shalage builds up her gap. Svobodova defending very well there against all the other drivers here. Let's see if there will be any issues coming from the other drivers here. There is a bit of too wide action there between Miyuki and Evans at the roundabout at the fountain. Into turns 4 and 5. Shalage leads, Svobodova second, Khashiu third, Oryx fourth, Farakamal fifth, Wazif 6th, Mori is in 7th, Pseudo 8th, Evans in 9th, and Miyuki in 10th place. Marcelado and Perez currently in 11th and 12th. Let's see if there will be any battles forming. And now you can see Svobodova really holding the field up there, starting the first of 64 laps here in Long Beach, California. Svobodova, the gap between her and Shalage is now 1.8 seconds, and it looks to open up coming into the next few laps of this race. Now obviously this is a street circuit with all these tight walls over here. You may expect that there will be some difficulties passing one another. Anyways, the gap have now closed up a bit between Shalage and Svobodova. Shalage still leading this race up to this point. As you can see, let's see if there are any battles forming close by, but so far nothing much at the moment. Anyways, we can take a look back at the race field monitor and see who will pit first and who will pit later. Looking into Moazes, Svobodova, Mori and co. Looking into them, looks like we're going to be seeing Adak-RMS and Nasser Daham going very long in their pit stops, and also Bonishkao the third. And for those who will be going for the undercut strategy, we're looking at Aziz Moazev, but that's pretty much it. And also Monica Shalage. They're lining up, they're having very light fuel loads into their car to basically be faster on the first parts of this race, so that they could basically get a leg up on them coming into their pit stops early in this race. Hololive Summer Festival race, correct. Obviously, we're about to kick off the summer season, and we apologize if we have to delay some of the Japan Series races and even outright cancel them due to the host's inavailability to be available to stream as often as he should, because busy with internships. So hope everyone doesn't mind about this. Anyways, looking into the fastest lap at the moment, so we can see here Svobodova getting fast lap, and you can see here side by side between the Fauna and Bay cars coming into turn 2, the Hum on the inside. Let's see if the Hum can have a leg up on Perez. Perez gets down to 13th place. Great overtake there by Perez. I mean, the Hum using the slipstream to get alongside Perez and being able to overtake it this tight and twisty circuit. So good job there from the Hum. If possible, share the stream to anyone else watching. We're mixing Hololive with GT3 racing here in Long Beach. We're almost there in settling the championship for both the International Series and the EN class, and as you can see here, the title is not yet wrapped up. Look at Hector Bembe, still down in 17th place. He is leading the championship. We're gonna need to share with you the let's see, the championship standings here to show you what happens here. Anyways, Hector Bembe currently leads the standings over Fawaz Mori, Lance Oryx, and Mama Khashiu. These 4 drivers in the top 4 have a realistic chance of winning this championship. And for drivers from Bembe and Santi Olivares, 5th to 9th. Excuse me. Anyways, the drivers from 5th to 9th, Bembe and Monica Shalage, Aziz Moazev, Bonishkao the third, and Santi Olivares. They still have a chance. They're still mathematically eligible, but realistically, I think they're out of it. Anyways, back into the race. Bembe trying to get up close and personal here. As you can see, Svobodova really getting close there to Shalage. Shalage is, I think, trying to keep her race under control here, as she knows that if she pushes way too hard, like what she did in Yeongnam last round, where she clouded the curves in an attempt to gain a lot against everyone else. She hit the curb way too hard in one of the corners at Yeongnam and got herself up into the air, landed on her side, maybe upside down, got herself beached into the gravel traps, and that's her race over. Anyways, back into the race once again, and you can see here Lance Oryx also back up to 4th. His championship isn't over just yet. Oh, you can see here the top 4 in the championship here, the top 4 in this race here. 3 of them are Lexus cars, and 3 of these Lexus cars are still in the championship hunt. We also want to mention here that Svobodova has already been knocked out of title contention. So Svobodova is just racing for glory and all that stuff. So let's see what Svobodova has in store to spoil the championship party. Anyways, Svobodova, gaps open up to Shalagi here as we're in lap 5 of this race. Let's take a look back into the race field monitor to see again who is going to be tied on fuel. Moss is going to fit in the next 8 to 9 laps here. But then Monica Shalage is also going to pit soon as well. You can see here Shalage is going to look to pit in the next 3 laps. So of course Shalage is going to try her best to push. Try to build up a gap to Svobodova, Khashiu, and Oryx. Let's see what she can do to build up a gap, and right now she's doing just that. 1.2 seconds, the gap between Shalage and Svobodova. Personal best for Shalage there, 121.1 for Shalage. As you can see, Svobodova really gaining on that straight line there. It was 1.2 seconds, but then it's closed down to 0.9. So very good stuff there from Svobodova to use that straight line advantage of that distance to close down the gap on Shalage. As you can see here, on even these low medium speed corners, that Svobodova is keeping Shalage honest, but even as Svobodova having a slight advantage. Remember, for the top 9 guys in the championship, they need to be at least 199 points behind the championship leader. And if they can be around in that range behind the championship leader, you are in contention for the championship heading into the final round of Watkins Glen. And Watkins Glen, we want to mention, is in the northeastern portion of the United States. It's around the state of New York. So, fitting place to end the season. Oh, you see here, Shalage, first driver to pit. Let's see what she can do. And hopefully, the pit glitch will be fixed in this one. We've rolled back the content manager and CSP version to make it be more bearable. Anyways, Monica Shalage peeling into the pits to get her car serviced, her tires changed, and her fuel filled up. She, I think, would be continuing on into her second stint. And she has miscalculated her fuel. I think she pitted way too early there. Now she cannot make her. She's gonna go for like one stop. I think that's the end. I think that's the end of the championship hopes for her. She tried to go for it, but it didn't work. So Shalage will have to pit once again. Let's just hope that with a tire advantage at the end of this race, she can try to at least come back to this race, having to get some hope back into her championship contention. Anyways, Svobodova now leads this race once again. Takes over from Monica Shalage. Khashiu in second, Oryx third. Let's see how much faster Shalage can be, being lighter on fuel and having fresher set of tires. Anyways, Farah Kamal a bit far behind from the top 3. Also Moazib in 5th place, Mori 6th. Sudo in 7th and Evans 8th. These drivers form a battle pack for the battle for 4th place. You can see here a lot of tire screeching, talking about wanting to get a leg on the tires, wanting to use the tire to the maximum. Anyways, Evans currently in 8th place. Oh, see, there's another move there between Azam and Mazzy there. Both of them already out of title contention. Let's see what Mazzy can do to try to outbreak. Azam pushes Azam slightly off wide there. They're still side by side heading into the roundabout. It's the Iris car versus the Ina car, and the Ina car manages to defend for now. Great stuff there. Great driving from the two. Oryx currently in 3rd place there, trying to catch Mama Khashiu. Late braking. Not exactly late braking. Anyways, Oryx trying to catch Mama Khashiu there. Both of them have a championship to fight. Any position that he could gain will be very crucial coming into the final round. Usually, as a guy fighting for the championship, you need to have the best cushion possible. So if anything goes wrong, you have something to fall back on. But if you're behind, you can do the best you can and still come up short, because the other guy might do just as good, if they're not better than you. Anyways, top 5 in the championship. 3 of them are in currently fighting for the championship. 3 of them are still in championship contention there. That is Mama Khashiu, Lens Oryx, and Aziz Muazif. Falls Mori is not far behind in 6th place there. Second in the championship standings for Falls Mori, around 40 points behind Hector Bembe's 1,000 plus points. Obviously, Falls Mori is looking to steal a good amount of points from Bembe, who's currently en route to only score 1 point in this race. Not looking very good for Bembe, as he's currently had a very terrible qualifying session. Qualified 18, is now up to 15th place. Shalaga has basically built herself back up into 5 seconds behind Ishikawa the third, but she'll have to pit once again. Looking into the race field monitor, Shalaga will have to pit in the next 5 laps. Very unlucky for Shalaga. Tried to go to the extreme of a strategy, but she'll have to pit twice due to her pitting way too early and having a car not have enough fuel into the end. Aziz Muazif technically only has 5 laps of fuel to go before he serves his scheduled stop. And Olivares and Perez going side by side. There are more drivers going dive bombing coming into the hairpin. It's a definite action zone in Long Beach at the moment. As you can see here, Perez really using that slipstream to get close to Olivares, but not quite close enough there. Shalaga with a fast slot, 121.011. Really catching up into Ishikawa the third's gap. She's trying to minimize damage from her bot strategy by going as fast as possible at the back of the field, so that she doesn't lose much at the coming into her second pit stop, which is a bit unscheduled in my opinion. Anyways, Oryx being held up just a bit by Mama Khashiu there, and Mama Khashiu actually goes first into the pits. Let's see how much fuel Khashiu is going to put coming into his pit stop. If he pits way too early, then I think then he has to pit once again. He doesn't have enough fuel. Miscalculation in the field once again. Looking into Khashiu at the moment. Also Hector Bembe. Hector Bembe is also coming into the pits as well. Bembe is responding to Khashiu's strategy. And looking at Khashiu, he also is quite short on fuel. He'll have to pit once again. That means they're going to be battling head-on with Shalaga. And we have confirmation that Hector Bembe have now peeled into the pits. Shalaga still inside, still on track. They're trying to get up and close and personal with Ishikawa the third. Let's take a look into how Bembe pits. Yup, same mistake as Mama Khashiu. So Bembe is gonna have to pit once again in the next 9 to 10 laps. But then again, it's not all doom and gloom, and they'll have fresher tires than usual, and we got some drivers being stuck in traffic. Just a check. Anyways, the current top 3 have reshuffled itself once again. Oryx, Muazif, and Mori, your title contenders inside the top 5. Swobodova and Oryx are still setting relatively equal lap times here, but looking at the gaps between Swobodova and Oryx, 5 seconds, and now Bembe comes out of this track a lap down to Swobodova and Oryx. Lap cars have been a huge topic coming into, well, this series. Whenever you have these longer races and basically the difference in lap times, lap cars are going to be a case of an inevitable. It's a case of when they'll arrive and how much they will affect your race as a leader. So anyways, let's look at Bembe's gap to Khashiu there, and more importantly, a gap to Oryx. Fortunately, it's not that far between Bembe and Oryx. Moss is stretching his fuel loads very, very low there, as he gets very close to Farah Kamal. Fellow Malaysian in the field, 3 Malaysians inside the top 5 from 3rd to 5th. An Indonesian second, that's Lens Oryx. Racefield monitor says no one is being called into the pits, but I think this might be the lap where Aziz Moazif sets his out lap, and he sets on to make a pit stop. SM currently trying to catch Perez for 12th place, but not quite close enough. Quite the sunshine here in Long Beach here at the moment. Sun shining. It's a clear sunny day here and as you can see here, Monica Shalage makes her second pit stop. Obviously unscheduled, as she pitted way too early. Now I think she'll be able to have basically a car that will make it into the end of this race. Anyway, Shalage is gonna have a race relative to Bembe. The pit stop delta is around, I think, 45 to 50 seconds for this track. Let's see what she can do to maintain her position. And no, Monica Shalage is pitted once again, and I don't think it's enough. I think Shalage has an issue with the car. The fuel nut's not coming in properly, and Shalage is having some issues with her refueling. And now Shalage is doomed to make her third pit stop, and I think with more of these stops, she's gonna see her title hopes crumble away in a blink of an eye. So looking into Moazif is able to, I think, well, hasn't coming into the box just yet. And no, Moazif is also not able to fill his car. And no, I don't think it's enough for Moazif either. So Moazif, also having to pit for a second time, I think has his race compromised. Another twist in the story of the penultimate round of the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series season. Shalage now has to pit 3 times, and that probably spells the end of her championship hopes. And looking at Lens Oryx, it's the best case possible for Oryx. Anyways, Moazif now back on track in 17th place. Khashiu 16th, Ishikawa the 3rd, and now you can see Bembe. The gap is huge there, 1 minute and 19 seconds between Moazif and Bembe. And now Bembe is about to get lapped by Farah Kamal, but the gap is opening up between Bembe and Oryx. Obviously, Bembe we're having to pit once again. Only has 8 laps of field to go. Got a lot of drivers going long there, so there's no excuse for them having to underfield their cars once again. It's just good stuff there. Anyways, let's see. 4 drivers have already pitted. Khashiu, Moazif, Bembe, and Shalage. Shalage and Bembe, I think, have I think I need to double check this one. Shalage have pitted twice already. Khashiu, Moazif, and Bembe have already pitted once. The rest of the 15 drivers up front have yet to pit. Looking into Evans there, looking at the gaps here, gets very close to Mori here at the moment. 5 tenths separating between the two, between between the Moona and Vesta Zeta cars. Exiting what should be turn 8, coming into the long back straight. It's not going to be enough for Evans, but at least Evans is going to sniff for an opportunity to get past Mori. For Moldova, setting consistent lap times 1:21.259. Looking to be a very clear favorite to win this race. That is, if she can clear lap cards in a very efficient manner. Bembe peels into Moises' gap. Will it be enough? We're just about a quarter into this race, 50 kilometers covered. And right now we're looking at Bembe, championship leader down in 18, on the verge of scoring no points. And as for Shalaga as well, that will be her end of, as it stands, running in last, she will be out of title contention. Moises is still going to be in title contention barely, but we'll have to pay attention to the charts at the moment. Now, both TakaMori cars having issues on the pits mean that, oh, as you can see here, oh, Ishikawa, the third car, way too slow there. And Khashiu made us a very bold pass around the outside because, again, the car that represents a member of Chaos, Hako's Bells, and that is Anita Perez, I think blocks the field just a bit to basically allow some drivers to take advantage of the situation. And now you see Khashiu back up inside the points in 15. This is what Bembe does. This is what Bembe doesn't. This is what Bembe doesn't want. As a driver at the moment, you're seeing your rival being able to be in a position to score points. That's not what Bembe wants to see. Anyways, anyways, Khashiu is not out of the woods just yet. He'll also have to pit once again, roughly at the same time as Hector Bembe. Looking to the next drivers who will pit. Kirana Smobodova. 9 laps of fuel to go before she pits. Oh, and Daham getting into a side-by-side battle with Mercer Ledoux having the inside line, the shorter route heading into turn 2. Daham on the outside now against Mercer Ledoux. Is going to shuffle the representative of society and civilization down to 9th place. It's Nature up to 8th, and more side-by-side battles between Mazzy and Khashiu, as Khashiu is trying to find an opportunity to get past Mazzy for 14th place, but Mazzy gets his car into the right placements to defend the position. Anyways, Svobodova is starting to lose pace, 21.4 the last lap. Oryx not good, good either. There, 121.6. Svobodova gains actually 0.2 of a second onto Oryx there, and again it's just opening up some more. Svobodova leading this race comfortably, still ahead of Oryx and Farah Kamal. As you can see here, JC Zudo trying to find a way past Farah Kamal for 3rd place here, as they're stuck behind Farah Kamal. Sorry, Farah Kamal stuck behind Hector Bembe. Was already a lap down to the leader. Lap 18 of this race. 17 laps complete. We'll be taking a short break there once we get into lap 21, signaling that we have already passed the 1/3 portion of this race to Easton Road. All of ours. Personal best. We're 122.2, and now Khashiu and Mazzy going side by side once again. Now this time, his battle is against Mazzy, and he gets the pass done. Hangs it around the outside and in the left, and that's swoop for a pass, heading into the hairpin. Oh, as you can see here, Mazzy trying to counterattack Khashiu, but it's not forthcoming. Khashiu's in a better position than Bembe, even if they have to pit once again. Schlage will have to pit again. Remember, for Khashiu and for some of the other drivers, they'll have to pit once again. Just a double check on the pit stops. Khashiu, Wazip, and Bembe are gonna have to make their second pit stops. Schlager will have to make her third. Anyways, back onto the standings here right now. We're on lap 19 of this race. And the gaps are pretty much still up in the air. Miyuki's getting very close to Evans. Asim's getting close to Perez, which really stretches down to 18th place now, almost. Actually, no. It stretches down to 17th. And now you see the lap cars now playing into the role of, you can see here, Khashiu now finally getting past Brendan McConley for what should be 13th place. Nissa should have the straight line advantage heading into turn 1. McConley is advantage for now. And as you can see, Moldova is losing a lot of time against the lap car of Ishikawa the third. Oryx is slowly catching up, but he has lap cars of his own against Hector Bembe. Never mind, that is Farah Kamal. Farah Kamal is currently being blocked by Bembe at the moment. But Oryx has a lot of clean air. And Oryx is now catching Svobodova for the lead of this race. Slage now has pitted for the third time. Hopefully this will be her last. No mistakes this time onto the pit lane. Let's hope the fuel hose is working as intended. We're about to get into a short break here, and we have confirmation Shilage have now fueled her car until the end of this race. Finally, properly. But I think that's her championship hopes over. Having to pit 3 times, lost a lot of time in the pits. Now down a lap or 2 against the competitive competition. I think that's the end of her championship hopes there. Shilage is not going to be very happy with herself, with how the pit stops have turned out. At least they got herself back out. That's one thing that's important. Anyways, we're about to go into a short break here. We'll be returning once Moldova gets into lap 23. You're watching the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series penultimate round of the season, round 11 at Long Beach, unfolding. Welcome back, everyone. As the leaders start lap 23 from scratch, Svobodova starting lap 23. We've seen Svobodova coming into the pits here in Long Beach, California, and now we have our two leaders finally serving their what should be their first and only stops. Let's Oryx, who was leading this race after Svobodova pits from the lead, is now having the car serviced and the fuel and tires in check once again. And now let's take a look back into Svobodova, who is currently into the final two corners of the circuit here. Oryx and now finally get the car moving once again. Svobodova, let's hope that the undercut strategy works very well for Svobodova. And as you can see here, Oryx gets the car out on track. Well, will it be enough for Lance Oryx to stay in the race lead? I think it will just be enough. Lance Oryx should have the provisional race lead at the moment, and yes, Oryx does. The pit stops have cycled through, and now Oryx will look to be in control of this race, redeeming from basically the blunders of last round, from leader to wrecker, from the mistake Oryx did at the Yeongnam round. Oryx is looking to bounce back once again. Anyways, Oryx having done I think the one and only stop for Oryx there. You can see a confirmation there. Oryx will run the rest of the race with this set here at the moment. And as for Svobodova, she's got some catching up to do. Anyways, a bit of a telling at the moment. Kaminari Riba, who did race for Vesta Zeta last round in Yeongnam. We've had confirmation of a full-time driver for the Vesta Zeta Nissan. We have talked about this before. It's Dan Evans, who is now driving the number 03 Vesta Zeta car. So apologies for, let's say, for all those Kaminari Riba fans watching, but Riba's not here in this race. But is there in reserves, and right now their main opportunity is to represent a Gen 5 member, Omar Volta, in Follow GT3 in Formula Hololive. Anyways, back into the field monitor, and let's see who will be pitting once again. Wazif is under field himself, so coming into the halfway stage of this race, Wazif is gonna have to pit from 14th place, and I think that's also his championship hopes gone and shattered. Looking into the gaps there, Farah Kamal now leads this race for the first time since Suzuka Split B race 2, where she had like the very dangerous combination with herself and Farah and Wikihana Lamy. Farah Kamal looks to have this rejuvenation of form in the Portfolio Rene car. Just a bit of a context, Farah Kamal, remember we mentioned this earlier, Farah Kamal represented Yukana Lamy in the 12 races in the Split B season, regular season, and she won 5 of the 12 races that she entered, and that single-handedly brought the Lamy car from the bottom of the standings to winning the Split B championship. Farah Kamal is showing that she's got some potential. Maybe when the time comes, she can basically get this win all sorted out. Anita Perez, the next driver to pit. Mikoler, as you want to call her. Coming into pit lane there for the Hakos Bales car. I see here Chicago the third has a very broken windshield there up front, and now with the shuffling of some of the other drivers here right now, Chicago the third is looking to find a way past Moses, but has to lift off because there's not much of a gap opening for the Chicago the third, so he has to basically lift the gas and fight for another day. But when will that other day come? Anyways, back to Falls Mori, coming into turns 2 and heading into the roundabout section there, and Falls Mori currently looking to find a way past JT Sudo and quickly Farah Kamal. You see here, Farah Kamal doesn't have cars in front of her, but she is quite slow. She's gonna go for that conservative strategy, trying to go for the overcut. Jeremy Asser the next to pit. almost pitting dead into the middle of this race. Anyways, Khashiu coming out in 16th place. Perez will complete her strategy and now up into 17th place for her. Just to double check, the microphone and auxiliary is on. Just to check that the mic is on at the moment here, and right now, checking into my OBS, it's picking up my microphone and auxiliary signals, and also the desktop audio, so don't know what they're talking about. Anyways, back onto the track here, and right now we're seeing another side-by-side battle between TakaMori and Dan Evans. Dan Evans in his Hololive GT3 debut representing Assetto looking to. Oh, I think there's contact between the two. They're still fighting side by side. Mori's not going to give up second place. Evans going side by side. And that's going to allow Hanari Miyuki to get into the battle for second place there. And Mori kind of just loses out there to Evans, but tries to go for a ball move down the inside, but it's not coming for Mori at the moment as he loses the position. JC Suda is the next driver to pit, as well as Jeremy Assam. Oryx now up to 5th. Spowadova has now actually been overtaken by Nasser Daham, who's now up to 6th place. Anyways, Mori's looking for a way past Evans once again. Farakamal still controlling this race. Dan Evans is about to pit in this this lap anyway, so that's going to cause Mori a lot of headaches, as this may affect on-track positions here. As you can see here, Wazif finally coming into the pits once again. Anyways, Farakamal. Oh, you can see here, TakaMori has re-overtaken. I think depending from Miyuki right now. Miyuki's looking to find a way past. Oh, there's contact between the two. TakaMori and Miyuki. Miyuki is going to be very aggressive onto the battle here. That's going to push TakaMori off there, but TakaMori has the inside line heading into the next left-hander. I think he's too far back here, and there's a lot of damage on Mori's car. He can't be in a position to fight back at the moment. He has 12 laps on his set of tires first to go for the extremely long overcut strategy. Let's see if it works out for him. Anyways, Swobodova. And now you can see Sudo and Evans there battling for 7th place there. Sudo now up to 6 for 7th place against Dan Evans there from Strategy Sudo. Remember, Evans have just pitted, so. And right now, the complexion of the championship has turned on to its head in a very crazy manner. As you can see here, the gaps at the moment here, we have like 12 cars on the lead lap. The rest of them are currently 1 lap down. Santi Olivars is now currently one of the first drivers a lap down, but that, again, some of the drivers have yet to pit, so that may change as the race progresses. TakaMori looking to find a way past Hanari Miyuki there. Nissan isn't very good on the slow, medium, fast corners, but it is very fast on the straight, so Mori needs to maximize the exit speed to get close to the Nissan. Easier said than done. And you can see here Bembe and Shilage passing each other, and actually Shilage actually beats Bembe off the line, but that wouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things because they are not in the points positions. Shilage will be out of title contention. Bembe is gonna have a very terrible footing here at the moment. As it stands, he will also be out of title contention based on where Oryx finishes. So for Hector Bembe, it's just about wanting to survive a few races on. And despite having to hit for like 3 times already, Shilage is not even in last place. Anyways, Ledoux and McConley going at it between each other there. Liddell just served his stop. McCauley is currently serving his, and now Liddell looks to be out in around 12th, 13th place. Farakamal still leads this race, currently wanting to stay mellowy behind Ishikawa the third, who is currently up to 10th place but have yet to pit in this race. Swobodova currently in 6th place, trying to close into Nasir Daham. Conley still getting out in the pit lane there. Pit limiter's off there, but he will be overtaken by Jeremy Assam, but I think it will not be enough actually. Assam side by side with McCauley there. McCauley having those very cold tires. Let's see if McCauley can stay ahead of Assam. The Gura car edges ahead of the Ina car, and McCauley stays ahead. McCauley consolidates 14. Let's see the remaining drivers who have yet to pit: Aaron Mazzi, Nasir Daham, Bon Ishikawa the third, and also Fawaz Mori, Putri Farah Kamal, Hanaori Miyuki. These are the drivers who have yet to pit in this race. Again, Kaminari Riba was in a temporary role there due to Gate Garcia leaving the day before the race was scheduled to take place. Kaminari Riba agreed to fill in the seat temporarily, and once a full-time driver is found in Dan Evans, finally gets into the full-time seat. But don't worry if you are a Kaminari Riba. You are still in Hololive GT3. You are still in Formula Hololive. You are just not in the International Series. You're just going to be representing Polka, and your next race is in June. So, not to worry about if you are Kaminari Riba. You still have races that you need to take part. Anyways, Fawaz Mori currently in 3rd place. Let's take a look into the graphics on who has pitted and who has not. We now still have 6 drivers who have yet to pit in this race: Farakamal, Miyuki, Mori, Daham, Mazi, and Ishikawa the third. And we're now almost getting into the halfway stages of this race. 100 kilometers have already traveled between these cars. Anyways, back into the overall standings, and it's getting very close there. Farakamal under pressure from Ishikawa the third. Miyuki is looking to deal a lot of damage for herself as she's getting close to Farakamal. It's a all-Malaysian top 3 spot, an all-Malaysian podium as it stands, but will it be Fawaz Mori, another Malaysian? There's 3 Malaysians inside the top 3 positions. It's 10 a.m. here in Long Beach, California, and it's 1 a.m. here in Malaysia, and it's a bit of a tiring situation for them as they may have some sort of jet lag as McCauley goes alongside Jeremy Assam. It's Gura versus Ina, heading into turns 1 and into turn 2. Will McCauley brake late down the inside? As you can see him, Wasa slowly catching up there, but you see Assam actually outpaces McCauley there, surprisingly. And so McCauley in that Gura car is going to stay behind in 15th place. Fawaz Mori in 3rd place, still stuck in behind Hanari Miyuki and Farakamal. The leading pack of 3 is currently being stuck by Ishikawa the third, and now we see the 2 Hondas, Farakamal and Mori, finally pitting, and this means that Hanari Miyuki is gonna lead a race for the first time in her Hololive GT3 career. So Hanari Miyuki getting out there, wanting to do Kobo Kanairu proud, doing something that not even Evan Fuller had done before, lead a lap in the Kobo Kanairu car. So good luck, congratulations to Hanari Miyuki. She's done a lot of things to get herself up into the top spots there, and right now Miyuki is currently leading this race, albeit temporarily. She's going to relish this moment here, but it will be temporary as she'll have to pit once again. And just a confirmation, Farakamal and Fawaz Mori have filled in the tanks of their cars to come in until the end of this race. Oryx is currently good until the end of this race. And right now, looking at Farah Kamal, she have exited in 5th place with only Miyuki and Daham still yet to pit. That means the leading 4 cars will be Oryx, Svobodova, Farah Kamal, and Mori. Amazing stuff there, given the switch of play. Back to Farah Kamal there, and she's currently in 5th place. And now her time in the lead comes to an end, and now she's coming into the pits. And now the lead will be surrendered back to Oryx. And currently looking at Khashiu in 13th place, Bembe down in 19th. As it stands, Oryx will overtake both Bembe and Khashiu for the lead of the standings there, coming into the final round at Watkins Glen. That is assuming Mori couldn't steal more points away from Oryx a bit more. Just to double check onto the standings. Right now, Lance Oryx is about 32 points away from Fawaz Mori. So if Fawaz Mori gets into second, with Oryx winning this race, that means it will be Fawaz Mori leading this race by very slim margins over Lance Oryx coming into the final race at Watkins Glen. And for Mama Khashiu, that may be his end. That may be the end of his title chances as well. But for Hector Bembe, he needs to have a perfect weekend, and for his opponents to falter come into round 12. Again, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts coming into as this race progresses. As you can see, Lance Oryx is still leading this race. Ooh, and you can see here, Lance Oryx has been held up by a lot of lap cars here, and now Lance Oryx lapping his fellow championship contender, Mama Khashiu, wasn't down a lap, so Lance Oryx coming into turn 2. Let's see if he gets held up by the pack. Remember, lap cars are slower, and there's no blue flag rules in Assetto Corsa, so the next driver in front is Mercedes and Santi Olivars on a battle of their own. Daham is slowly catching up. Svobodova is also catching up to Lance Oryx as well. And especially taking a look into their tire situation there. We're gonna need to take a look into their tires. Svobodova having a 1 lap older tires than Oryx may not be up to scratch, but for Fawaz Mori and Farah Kamal, they may be, because they have 9 laps fresher tires. So watch out for these 2 drivers wanting to spoil the party. Coming into the final round, as it stands, there will be only 3 drivers left in contention for the overall Class Cup, and the EN Class Cup will also go down to the wire with only 1 race remaining. And Les Oryx almost had that off moment there. Right now, Nasser Daham is looking to find a way past. It's Sarasvana against Anya Melfissa. Daham is going to go around the outside, use the slingshot move to get into the inside, but it's not going to be close enough for Daham to get past Oryx. Oryx still being held up by a huge amount. Tried to get it on to the inside of Khashiu there, as he tried to put Khashiu a lap down once again, but failed to do so. Anyways, Lance Oryx trying to get into the end of things. Lap 36 of this race, 35 laps have already been complete. We are about 29 laps to go in this case. Anyways, halfway portion of this race have already been settled, so at this point Lance Oryx is gonna try to execute this portion problem-free, and as you can see here, Honorary Miyuki has also pitted herself, and right now the battle may extend into the top 6 positions. Oryx. Now trying flying away past Khashiu once again. And now putting Khashiu down to rest, but Khashiu will have the inside line to turn 1. And with the declining tires of multiple contenders here at the moment, there could be reduced grip and reduced speed heading into turns 1 and 2. Oryx is going to go side by side with Khashiu. Anya and Memphis are going to go side by side with Mori. Calliope into turns 2, heading into the roundabout. Will it be the same? They're going to rub wheels, they're going to rub tires. Oh, you can see here a roll by Moona Khashiu there, and that's going to hold up a lot of the drivers here. Khashiu manages to keep the car rolling, but that will surely put a dent in Khashiu's title hopes. Going side by side on a losing battle there against Lance Oryx there. Well, hopped onto the code way too hard. Hopped onto it, rolled over, but manages to land upright and get this race back underway for Khashiu. Ishikawa the third finally pits for 10th place. Anyways, Lance Oryx still stuck behind the lap traffic. That is Mercer Ledoux and Santi Olivares. Let's see if Oryx can get past the two. And right now, Daham, Svobodova, Miyuki, Farakama, and more is going to be sniffing out an opportunity to get past. Ishikawa the third finally pitting for his first and only stop. Gonna be down in 14th place, and that may spell the end of his title hopes in the overall class. But it's still game in the EN class. We'll keep you updated on the Adak-RMS Twitter. Anyways, Daham now really getting close there to Lance Oryx there. Let's look into the last lap for both Oryx and Daham to see where they basically are at the moment. And right now, Moazif currently in 15th place. Just 1 point for him. I think at this rate, it will be the end of his championship hopes for Moazif. But for Daham, he's still got multiple to fight for, even though he has to pit in the next 11 laps. Really stretching his his tires for the overcut strategy here. Now Daham looking for a way past Oryx there. Oryx is trying to find a way past Olivares, but it's not going to be enough. And now you see more lap cars getting in the way. There's just going to be one mistake from these drivers, and the championship gets turned on its head. 38 laps complete here in Long Beach, California, and right now Daham is looking to get past Lance Oryx. The Honda car has been fast in some parts in the season. We've seen Brooklers win in Suzuka in the Invitational race last August. Parapath nearly winning at Phillip Island, and now Nasser Daham takes over the spawner ride, and right now Daham is looking to find a way past Oryx and give trouble to Oryx, as he's going to give Oryx a run for his money despite Daham being out of title contention. Nasser Daham currently in second place. They are 5 tenths behind Lance Oryx. This is the battle for the race lead. Let's take a look. If Oryx is going to go bull and try to find a way past Olivares. He just might. And that's going to be a very shallow. And I think there's contact into the inside wall there. Daham is going to close in on the gap between himself and Oryx. More damage on that number 33 car is not going to do much favors to Daham. You can see here Daham's only slightly faster, but will it be enough? Svobodova has now finally gone past the lap car of Jeremy Assam, down in 13th place. Only 11 cars on the lead lap at the moment, down to Santa Olivares representing Wasamilia in 11th place. And as it stands at the moment, Olivares may also be out of title contention as well. Lado, he's already out of title contention. He's just trying to see through the season. RMS currently in 9th place, wanting to do a lot of damage there in the Iris car. He's just had his consecutive points finishes streak broken, which is very much a shame for Mazzy. Anyways, Swobodova finally staying clear of Jeremy Asim there, and another cross on the way, getting in the way between Swobodova and Oryx is Bembe and Khashiu, and as you can see here, Nasser Daham gonna go side by side, but then actually we just realized that it's actually Daham just pitting. So right now, Nasser Daham is gonna make his scheduled pit stop. Let's see what he can do in these final 20 laps to see if he can pull a gap or two. Anyways, there's Daham into the pits. Swobodova 4.8 seconds behind Oryx. Let's see if she can make a challenge on Lens. The top three at the moment is currently an ID lockout. Lance Oryx, Tarana Swobodova, and Hanari Miyuki. Representing Anya Milfisa, Ayurani 15, and Kobo Kanaevo inside the top three. And to an extent, it's actually a Hololive Indonesia day in the United States. The top 7 of basically the field at the moment is all ID class cars, and the highest EN class cars at the moment is Nasser Daham? Yeah, Nasser Daham is the highest in the EN class at the moment. And to see a lot of the EN class cars struggling in the United States is a bit funny. But then we have seen the EN class cars dominate in EN class tracks. So that's just basically a tit for tat. Anyways, back into the race. Oryx. It's not a best time for Oryx there. Mazzy finally pitting once again, I think. Anyways, back into the track. But Daham is now currently in 8th place after he has made his pit stop. Looking into the pit stop, I think everyone have already finished their pit stop, so there will be no more scheduled stops for the rest of this race. So it's now just a flat out run to the finish. Into Swobodova. Oh, there's more battles here right now. Here we go on board Dan Evans there. As you can see here, Mori side by side with Farah Kamal. Mori wants to have minimal damage coming into the final round of the season. There nearly pushes Farah Kamal into the wall there, and now wanting to get past the lap car of Aaron Mazzy there. Mori, and Mori is able to do so. Mori now up to 4th place. His eyes are now set onto the top 3 spots. Last lap for Lens Oryx, 122.505. Swobodova will cross the line with a 123.066 there, being blocked by Bembe and Khashiu there. And now Lens Oryx, his closest lap car is currently Mercer Lado. Now, all of ours have already been lapped. And now, oh, you can see here, Evans has spun onto the final corner. And this would mean that, oh, he gets collected there by multiple other cars. And that's then Evans' promising race to a close. Heartbreaking stuff for Dan Evans, who was side by side with another driver. I think clipped the wall at the exit of the hairpin. Got himself into the wall there, and that's terminal damage for Evans, as he is now your first DNFer in this race. So this will give a bit of a breathing space for those at the back to steal more points, as we're now at 42 laps complete. We're about to get into the 3/4 mark of this race. Actually, we want to scratch the plan to basically get into a break on lap 40. We're gonna do it on lap 50. We're gonna be on break for just 1 lap before we get back on track. That's Evans' race over. A lot of damage there. Anyways, Swobodova. What you can see here is a lap car battle between Khashiu and Olivares. Not looking very good there for Swobodova, who wants to try to go on for that overall win. Slug and Bembe fighting for that silver spoon behind Anita Perez. This is a battle for 17th place. Schlage going around the inside. Oh, a clip there into the inside wall, and that allows Hector Bembe to get up to 17th place. Oryx now stuck behind the lap car of Mercer Ledoux. Time is now for Oryx to clear the lap car. Hanori Miyuki currently in 3rd place, currently stuck behind Ishikawa the 3rd as well. But that's not the only issue that she'll have to face at the moment, because Falls Mori is now behind Hanori Miyuki. Swobodova stuck behind the 2 cars, that is Santi Olivares and Mohamed Khashiu. These 2 are still battling for position, so it's going to be very tricky to see how Swobodova passes the 2. The gap though between Oryx and Swobodova have already closed down to 3 seconds. Not looking good for Oryx, as the safety net is currently being destroyed by lap cars again. Swobodova trying to find a way past the Khashiu and Olivares. All it takes is a mess up from Oryx to turn their heads onto the championship. Heading into the 3rd quarter mark of this race, I think we're going to be close to 75 laps complete here in Long Beach. Apologies for the awkward delay. Anyways, JC Sudo currently in 6th. Nasir Daham have finally got himself back up into 7th place there. Best EN class car at the moment. It's a definite ID class showing at the moment, and for when it should have been a pretty run-of-the-mill showing from the EN class cars. And now let's Oryx have had a bit of an issue there. I think he's flipping the outside wall just a bit, and now that's going to open the door for Oryx to be attacked by Swobodova. Swobodova now has a slipstream. Or will it be enough for Swobodova to finally get away past? Will there be a dive bomb? No is the answer for now. Oryx, I think, clipped the inside wall again. Anyways, being held up by Olivares now. Olivares now unlaps himself. He's now back onto the lead lap. Slug and Bembe goes into that tit for tat once again. Swobodova trying to find a way past Lance Oryx there. The gap is now down to 1.3 seconds. Swobodova has the long back straight to use to her advantage to get herself into a good position to attack Oryx. Let me see, what lap are we in at the moment? We're coming into lap 47 here. Lance Oryx is still leading the straight forward, currently in 2nd place there. A lot of lap cars in the way. Let's see who blinks first. 125.411 there. You see both of them losing a good amount of time between each other. Anyways, no tits for tat just yet. Sudo currently in 6th place there. Olivares now literally being a roadblock to multiple drivers here. Ledoux is going to be on course for a top 10 finish as it stands. Not going to jinx anything, that's for sure. Oryx is not certain. Oryx trying to find a way past. Will it be enough? 1 second is the gap between Swoboda and Oryx as we come down into the final 20 laps of this race. I think we're on final 17 laps actually. Anyways. Oh, you can see here Oryx trying to go off wide there, but will it be costly for Oryx? Oh, a bit of contact there. As you see here, Swoboda having that botch entry into the main straight. That's not going to do Swoboda any favor than trying to get past the lap car of Khashiu. It's still a procession there at the moment there. Given the tight nature of Long Beach, the gap is still hovering at a 1 second mark. Oh, Swoboda is going to be under pressure from Asim, who's going to want to try his luck and get himself back on the lead lap. This is going to be a very chaotic race at the moment here. Wasif now back into the fight as well to get themselves back onto the lead lap. Anyways, back into the situation here at the moment. Mori currently in 4th. Still trying to find a way past Miyuki for 3rd place. They're all still stuck behind Ishikawa the 3rd. It's all about who blinks first. We're about to start lap 50 here. Oryx and Khashiu going side by side. There's a bit of contact between Oryx and the inside wall once again. And look at this! Swoboda is about to go side by side. A great exit there for Swoboda. Let's see if Swoboda can hang it around the outside. This is for the race lead. Swoboda kept her cool against Lance Oryx there. Now Lance Oryx is about to see her lead vanish away by Swoboda. It had been, you can see he doesn't want to be on the too much on the inside line there for Oryx on that curve, that flip out of the Lexus cars. And right now Oryx manages to defend. Khashiu gets his lap back. Let's take a look back into the gaps here at the moment to reconfirm you that the top 10 are currently on the lead lap. 11th onwards are currently a lap down. Anyways, again, another twist and turn into the battle of this championship. The penultimate round of the season. Looking into Swoboda, trying to find a way past Oryx. Oryx losing touch to Khashiu. Will it prove for Oryx? And now Oryx being blocked by Khashiu. Let's see if Swoboda can have a very good launch off the exit of the final corner. Swoboda is going to be focusing on getting find a way past Oryx. Both of them having almost the same age of tires, so the tire life is pretty much still okay for both of them, kind of. But then again, Mori actually, as well, I want to talk about this. Mori have actually overtaken Hanori Miyuki for 3rd place there, while we were focusing on the battle for Oryx and Swoboda. Apologies if we haven't caught that thing live. Anyways, it's now still a ID top 6 lockout. Mori currently trying to find a way past Ishikawa the 3rd. Swoboda trying to find a way past Oryx for the race lead. The gap is 0.8 of a second, very far back from Oryx as Swoboda would like. There's a straight line that Swoboda can use. Into the hairpin there it is. You can see here Swoboda trying to try his fancy to get past Mama Khashiu, and he almost does. Now the onus is on Swoboda to try to clear Khashiu, but I don't think it's enough. Swoboda might not have enough Oryx might have a bit of a cushion. And now Swobodova's not going to take it lying down. She dive bombs Khashiu around the inside, but it won't be enough. Khashiu having a better exit there, exiting turn 2. And now Oryx has some breathing space. And now puts Khashiu back down a lap. But then he still has Santi Olivares to take a look into. The Hondas have been very difficult to overtake into the slow section there. They're very good there due to the very short wheelbases. Looking back into some of the other battles here, Mori still trying to get past Ishikawa the third, but still not forthcoming for Mori. One hand of the title, it was for Hector Bembe, and now the title race swings back to Oryx, who's looking to make the most out of all of this coming into the final race of the season. Swobodova still behind Khashiu, and again we were quite late on the promise there that we wanted to take a short break for the throw. Anyways, we're gonna start our short break. We'll be coming back on around laps 53 to 54 to update everyone about what has happened on track. We'll see you soon. Mori still hasn't cleared Ishikawa there. Seems sorry, we were supposed to be on break. Back in Miami, we did say that we were on a short break at the moment. Anyways, welcome back everyone to this Long Beach race for the penultimate round of the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series, and it looks like Oryx is currently holding on to this very much fragile race lead. A car in the way between Swobodova and Oryx. That is Khashiu currently in 10th place, a lap down. Anyways, back into the track here at the moment. We're about to get into 10 laps to go soon. And relative to the race start, it has been very, very much different. For what would have been a Swobodova on pole, she is at least in contention to win this race. It was actually a podium drought for the Iranian 15 cars up until this point. So, anyways, what you call this, it was very much no podiums for the Iranian 15 car up to this point. Swobodova was going to be doing something that, oh, as you can see here, almost a clean overtake there between Oryx and Olivares, and it looks like Oryx is going to clear Olivares and put the Watson car a lap down. And that is another masterclass driving from Oryx. Now, there's two cars that will be used as a pick for Oryx to maintain a lead. And now Swobodova is looking to be a bit more desperate. One last car, and that is Mercer Ledo, currently on his best, on his very good run there inside 8th place. So he's looking to deliver something for the Humans and Nanashimume. Car still running here in Long Beach, and currently Swobodova still struggling to get past the lap cars, there's definite issues with the Nissan on that straight line there, or in the corners. Because the Lexus can just manage to keep building a gap. It's just not enough closing in for Moldova to clear the lap cars, and you can see here, getting very desperate there against... Oh! And you can see here, Moldova got spun! Moldova got spun! And there is that basically a piling up, and that will put Haruki into the wall! A massive pile up there at the end of this back straight, and that's gonna clog a lot of drivers here. And now for Moldova, who was surefire to be inside the top 2 positions, is now, and now you can see Haruki is also caught up into the pileup as well, and now she's out of this race. A big crash here in Long Beach in the dying embers, and now another twist into the race. Yuki's now out, and now this will allow Mori back into the mix, into the championship hunt. And as it stands at the moment, with Mori up to 2nd and Oryx winning, we did mention this earlier, Mori will steal the championship lead away from Lance Oryx, and also have confirmation that Tirana Swobodova have retired from this race. If bad performance doesn't catch up to you, bad luck will. And this is so true in a lot of aspects for some of these cars. The Iron Neo 50 car have never finished on the podium in any of the Hololive GT3 International Series races. And now this drought will continue, with Swobodova retiring, as well as Hanari Miyuki. And now, as it stands, Mercedes is looking to get up into 6th place. Oryx is now still stuck behind the lap car of Mercedes. But for Mori, all he needs to do is to remain calm. And speaking of which, Khashiu had been kind of collected and got stuck with in that multi-car pile up there, and so that's why Khashiu's down there. And so, as it stands, Mori will take the lead of the overall championship come the final round at Watkins Glen in 3 weeks' time. Just to check back into the English Cup standings, with looking at Brendan Colley, he's in 10th. Khashiu 8th. Nasir Daham is in 5th place, so he will be sniffing at a chance, maybe? Oh, we'll have to wait and see, because Hector Bembe is currently down in... Oh, more of a basically side-by-side moment in the hairpin there. Wasif trying to clear McConley, and looks to clear Aston as well. Wasif's now back up inside the top 10. A massive development coming into coming to the final laps here. 8 laps to go here in Long Beach here. Mori 5 seconds. All he needs to do is to remain calm and to not make mistakes. He will have the championship lead only by the slightest of margins coming into the final race, as the TakaMori cars basically spontaneously combust between each other. We don't know about Khashiu's chances to remain in title contention, but we will have at least 3 drivers looking to compete for the overall title in the final race at Watkins Glen. And of course, given it's already late night here in Malaysia, we're gonna have to delay the scoring and the official announcement of the results until maybe tomorrow morning or tomorrow noon Malaysia time. Apologies if we have to do this, but again, the host is still human. He also needs his good night's sleep, so... Anyways, Muazif and Aslam going side by side once again. Now Muazif steals 9th place. His charge is now back up to the mix. Muazif's going to try his best to remain eligible for the championship, but as it stands, it will be all for naught. Hector Bembe is still a whisker outside the point. All he needs to do is to pass Anita Perez for 15th place. But will Hector Bembe be able to do so? Hector Bembe is gonna try to hang around the outside. A dive bomb, maybe, but it's not gonna be enough. You can see here that Nissan has got into control very much earlier than usual. Nasir Daham is gonna score his first top 5 in Hololive GT3 International. Whilst Mori is gonna still try to remain calm. Lance Oryx will also need to try to remain calm. They are not in a position to lose as many points as they are. Lance Oryx is gonna aim for his second win in Hololive GT3, representing Anya Melvissa for the first time since Ang. He's gonna try to win it. Back in Long Beach, and right now it gets very crazy. And right now Wazim is now up into 8th place against Khashiu. It gets very crazy there right now. Lap 59 to 64. We're about to go just about 6 laps to go in this race. Oryx and Mori still just need to remain calm. Pseudo is slowly catching up into Fawaz Mori. He might sniff a second place, and Lance Oryx is gunning for his ID2 teammate, his fellow Holoroad teammate JC Suda representing Crazy Ollie to try to steal a position from Fawaz Mori so that Lance Oryx will have the championship lead coming into the final round at Watkins Glen. Again, we wanted to mention to you, official results will not come until around 12 to 14 hours after the race, due to the host wanting to get some sleepy sleep. And right now, Lance Oryx still stuck behind. And actually, we want to take a look at Fawaz Mori. Fawaz Mori may actually want to try to get past Bembe and Khashiu, rubbing wheels at turns 9 and into long left-hander heading into the hairpin. Will Asim make a dive bomb to defend? Yes is the answer, but will he get turned? No. And actually, just at the same time we're saying this, Fawaz Mori is going to try to clear Bon Ishikawa the third. Ishikawa the third has the outside. Fawaz Mori has the inside. Will it be enough for Fawaz Mori to steal a position and to also put Ishikawa the third further down the field as more cars lap him? Mori still side by side. No mistakes please between these two. Clean racing at its finest. Fawaz Mori gets up to well, not like he gets up a position, but anyways gets himself into a better position against Lance Oryx. Lance Oryx still stuck behind Mercelado. He knows that more drivers are trying to get onto the end of things. Oryx is going to try his best to get past, but it's not forthcoming. Look at Aziz Mwaze trying to get into the back of Olivares there. He might be able to pass Olivares for more positions. A top 7 or top 6 is going to be very realistic for Aziz Mwaze. 16 cars left here in Long Beach as we're now shifting into noon time. Will there be a dive bomb? Yes, there is for Lance Oryx. Lance Oryx finally clears all the lap cars in front. And now Oryx will have breathing space. And it looks like Lance Oryx, just like what he did in Sepang Race 2, is gonna try to stay calm en route to his second win in Hololive GT3. But that won't mean Fawaz Mori is gonna lose the championship lead, because remember, the gap between the two is around 32 points. So the gap between the two championship contenders heading into the final race at Watkins Glen will only be at 2 points. 2 points separating first and second. It's going to be a very interesting race, that. And it looks like by the skin of the teeth, Hector Bembe will still be in championship contention, but for Mohamed Khashiu, that will be the end of his title hopes, as he's currently down in 10th place. He will not be 200 points at max minimum below the top guy in the championship to remain eligible. As does Brendan McConley, Monica Shilage, Aziz Muasif, Ron Ishikawa III, and Santi Olivares. They will also be knocked out of championship contention. And as it stands, only 3 drivers remain in the hunt for the championship. A lot of breathing space for Lance Oryx. Now Aziz Muasif finally gets past Santi Olivares there. His eyes are now set on clearing Mercer Lado for 6th place. The next lap car for Lance Oryx, Hector Bembe. And right now, Lance Oryx is at the roundabout. Hector Bembe is at what should be the final portion of the track here. So Lance Oryx has a lot of clean air to work with. Anyways, 3 laps to go for the race leader. Nasser Daham, very comfortable in 5th place. Farah Kamal looks to be in 4th. JC Sudo in 3rd. Representing Crazy Ali, Faust Mori in 2nd. Representing Hoshina Moona. And Lance Oryx representing Anya Melfisa. Both of them, well, all 3 of these cars, the VTubers they represent, they found out about our work in Hololive GT3 and the ARO. We'd like to thank the YouTubers for dropping in by onto the Twitter account to drop by their appreciation. Hoshina Moona, Anya Melfisa, and Krijoli, terima kasih. Thanks for the dedication. Anyways, Lance Oryx is going to start his penultimate lap of this race in the penultimate round of the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series. We're about to finish round 11 of this season. 1 round to go. 1 round remains in what is a very eventful season in an international series. Anyways, Lance Oryx building a gap between himself and Faust Mori there. You can see here Ledo is now under pressure for Aziz Muasif. Azim gets past Santi Olivares for 8th place. Khashiu still stays in 10th place. Remember what we mentioned. Only 3 drivers left in the title hunt. As it stands? Yeah, as it stands, only 3 drivers left in the title hunt. It's a battle between Lance Oryx and Faust Mori in the top 2 in the standings. Both of them are ID class. And on the EN class, it's only Hector Bembe. Hector Bembe, the only surviving EN class member to try to bring home the championship for KFP. The winningest car in Hololive GT3 International may want to put a cherry on top onto what should be a championship season with a win in the final round. Then again, with good performances from Oryx and Mori this round, so maybe all for naught if Oryx and Mori also have good runs. Final lap of this race. Lance Oryx crosses the line to start the final lap. You look at Lance Oryx there. Let's take a look back into the basically the progress chart. Lance Oryx started 5th. Is now into the lead of this race. The Ham started 15th and now up to 5th with his very good overcut strategy. Monica Shilage with her 3-stop issue put herself down from the front row of the grid to 13th. Swobodova started from pole to tragedy as Swobodova couldn't even make it to the finish line. JC Sudo and Faust Mori also do very well to get themselves inside the podium position from where they are at the moment. In overall, commendable drive from multiple other drivers in the field, but no other driver will get more commendations than Lance Oryx. Drove near perfect race here in Long Beach to secure a spot into the grades, to secure a spot into the final round as a championship contender, to secure a spot for Anya Melfisa and her male friends to win a championship together. Lance Oryx scores the win here in Long Beach in near convincing fashion. And now Faust Mori is gonna calm down and come across the line to see multiple other drivers come onto the line to finish. Only 5 drivers finish on the lead lap side by side for Faust Mori against Khashiu. Faust Mori secures 2nd. For Jeremy Assam, sorry no, for Bembe and Khashiu, I think this is where his championship hopes would end at this rate. 10th place just isn't going to cut it for him to maintain a spot in the championship. He put on a valiant effort to stay within championship contention, but it just wasn't meant to be. But McConley as well, Ishikawa the third, Shalage, Asante Olivares, Aziz Moazif, they also couldn't finish the championship. Couldn't get to compete for the final round. Sudo, and also Farad Kamal and Daham, already outside the competition, but also doing very well as well. And that leaves only 3 drivers left. Lance Oryx, Fawaz Mori, and Hector Bembe. These are your 3 remaining drivers in contention for the overall title. We'll get into the EN title after this soon, but for now, let's take a look into the results to see where the drivers have finished. And there we see Lance Oryx scoring the win here at Long Beach. Very long race there, come to think of it. Anyways, Lance Oryx wins for Anya for a second time this season. Fawaz Mori in second for Hoshinova Moona. Jisudo for Crazy Oli rounding out the top 3 spots in Long Beach. Potifar Kamal on her best ever finish for Pavolia Rene. And also best finish for Pavolia Rene, maybe. I might need to confirm back once again. Anyways, let's take a look back into the standings. Nasir Daham, the best EN class car representing Sarasvana. He gets the EN class win. Let's see. We're gonna count the points later on. We'll be updating our Adak-RMS Twitter for the EN class cup to update everyone on how the standings would go. Mercer Lado has his best finish since a long time in the Nanashimume car. Aziz Moazif put on a valiant drive to get into 7th, but at the end of the championship hopes for Aziz Moazif. Jeremy Assam finishes 8th for Nino Mayananis. For Santi Olivares and Bembe and Khashiu representing Wasamilia and Mori Calliope respectively. They are out of the title race despite their best efforts. Brendan McConley and Boran Nishikawa III, as well as Monica Shalage representing Gaogura, Oro Kroni, and Kyla Kowalskia. All 3 of them also saw their championship hopes come to an end. Aaron Mazzi finishes 14th to get back into the points for Iris. Anita Perez gets herself into the points for Hakos Bells. And for Hector Bembe, final car running at the finish line, racing for Takaneshi Kiara, finishes 16th. Tiranos Moldova and Hanari Miyuki got collected into that pile up there at the end of the hairpin there on the dying stages of this race, representing Irene 15 and Kobo Kanai respectively, and Dan Evans also crashing out at the end of this race due to issues, let's say, on his car. Anyways, let's take a look into the replay, see what has happened there, especially for the 3 DNFers. First of all, let's take a look back into Dan Evans to see what has absolutely happened, and it got pretty ugly. Okay, anyways, here's the replay between Dan Evans and JC Sudo. Basically, his elite car and lap car tangling between each other. Let's take a look at the replay. Into the hairpin. JC Sudo diving down the inside of... Yeah, it got pretty ugly there, and AI doing AI things. Dan Evans went directly into the wall, went directly into the inside wall. JC Sudo spun him in the first place. It's a racing incident, but we'll have to take a look into the replay once again to see the onboards of JC Sudo, what happened. Onboard JC Sudo. Found a gap on the inside of the hairpin that disappeared overnight. But then again, also, we saw Dan Evans close in on Dan Evans, so it's a 50-50. So yeah, racing incident between the two. Now let's take a look back into Tirana Svobodova and Hana Rimiyuki. Let's see what happened to them. Here's what happened to Tirana. Oh, got tagged by Jeremy Assam. Same mistake as... Oh, and there's also another pile up there between Svobodova and Miyuki, and you can see here Svobodova nearly got herself back up to the air, but that doesn't explain why Svobodova is out of it. Let's see what happened to Svobodova and see... Oh! Engine failure for Svobodova. And that's the end of her race. Her engine blew. Interesting development to see what happened, and that also blocked Aramazzi and Putri Farakama. That's not gonna help them any favors. Let's take a look into the replay. What happened to Tsiras Svobodova on into the replay. Let's take a look back. It's pretty okay. Oh, got into the inside wall, and that blew the engine immediately. That's Svobodova's race over. Let's take a look back into Hanari Miyuki to see what happened to her. As you can see, Hanari Miyuki tries to... it gets noted that Svobodova got spun. Then Svobodova got back onto the track, collects Ishikawa the third, follows Mori and Hanari Miyuki. Very messy race all around for these three cars. Again, congratulations to Lance Oryx for putting on a spectacular run come the end of this race to cement Oryx as one of the favorites to win the championship. So let's take a look back into the final the standings heading into the final race of the season. So here it is. Falls Mori, we have confirmation that Falls Mori now has the lead of the overall standings coming into the final round at Watkins Glen. Obviously, let's take a look back here. Only, oh dear, 7 points separating Falls Mori and Lance Oryx. It can't get any closer to that. Hector Bembe still within whisker of a title chance against Falls Mori there, but he needs to have a very good run, and both of them having very poor runs. So Hector Bembe has a lot to do. Anyways, we were right. Only three drivers left in this championship battle. And for Bembe and Khashiu and everyone else, they are out of this entirely. Khashiu over 200 points behind Falls Mori. Now from TakaMori to just KFP. Anyways, three drivers left in the championship contention. JC Sudo currently in 5th. Brendan McCauley 6th. Aziz Muazif in 7th. Monica Shalage 8th. Santi Olivares 9th. Ishikawa the 3rd currently inside the top 10. Tsiras Svobodova, Jeremy Assam in 11th and 12th. Daham 13th. Evans 14th. Miyuki 15th. Farakama up into 16th place now. Merceladel also up to 17th. Aramazzi continues his free fall down the standings, and now he is in 18th. And Anita Perez fills in the field in 19th place. What a race it has been. Talk about the ups and turns in this championship battle here. We're going to be seeing you guys in the next 3 weeks for the season finale of the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series. We hope everyone is able to tune in to the stream for what should be an interesting and exciting championship decider at the rural side of New York of Watkins Glen. I am Mohamed Reza, and you've been watching the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series race at Long Beach. We'll see you next time as we're about to conclude the Hololive GT3 International Series season at Watkins Glen.